Watch this, just like New York. Taxi!
No one ever forgets their first trip to Venice. You jump into a motoscaffi, say goodbye to land and logic, and follow a liquid path back through the centuries. Waiting somewhere out there are magnificent relics of faith. Faith in the creative power of God and man. Art you can see and hear and taste. History you don't have to imagine. Fathers of the Renaissance pointed their noses into the same breeze. Scoundrels and saints and survivors of Black Death scanned this same horizon. And suddenly, you are turning onto the most amazing main drag in the world. And if you are not moved by your first trip down the Grand Canal, well, you're just made of wood.
I told my dad I was bringing my wife here for our first anniversary. He said, where are you going to take her for your 10th? The moon? Way to peak early.
Even without that plastic cup of Chianti and my better half, a gondola ride seems like a good place to start. Of the 433 licensed gondoliers in Venice, Giampaolo is the undisputed heavyweight champion.
The last important race was in September, and I was the winner.
You won.
Yeah.
Note the modest pause here before he mentions how often he wins the Gondola Super Bowl.
11 times.
11 times.
Yeah. This is my 11th one.
So every passing boat brings a glint of recognition and respect.
Some places have cycling clubs. Here it's a rowing club. That's awesome.
Exactly.
Thomas Mann's Death in Venice described the roguish solicitude of this profession, and Giampaolo has that in spades. Right down to his taste in history.
Is this Casanova's house?
Yes. But I like him because, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Many women, so...
He was the original player, the original Italian playboy.
Yeah, exactly.
Casanova.
Yeah, it's telling that a favorite Venetian son was a womanizing gambler and raconteur locked up for practicing magic. They say when he used bedsheet ropes to break out of this prison, his getaway vehicle was a gondola. But nobody knows for sure.
He escaped from the Bridge of Sighs,
That's what I've read.
It was the only one.
Although I heard that maybe he didn't escape. Maybe he was a spy and they let him out.
Why? Because, we live a lot also with a legend,
Right.
But it's good to say that he escaped.
Sure. So 1254.
1254?
Marco Polo lived right here.
Yes, this one.
And maybe Marco Polo didn't bring Italy's first noodles back from China.
So that's the reason why we are famous for spaghetti, pasta.
But why let facts get in the way of a good story? This place lulls you into literally going with the flow. And it's easy to forget that this is a working city.
Buongiorno. See, even the garbage trucks in Venice are romantic. Garbage boats.
Here, traffic jams are caused by cement mixers sneaking under the Rialto Bridge. If you don't pull over for an ambulance, you might get splashed. And if you drive the Venetian version of a '79 Chevy Vega, you improvise.
Oi!
That's your horn?
Yeah. Oi!
Meet Francesco de Masto, architect and author with a bloodline that goes back to the earliest days of Venice.
A three-point turn, Venetian style.
And nautical skills to match.
Let's see if it works. Great.
Bravo.
Unlike some gondoliers, his history lessons are grounded in years of careful study.
And this is a marvelous house, look. is the same period of my building, and they have an overflow, a bridge that goes from there to the garden. It's fantastic. And here
There were gardens in Venice.
look, they are secret gardens.
Secret garden.
Yeah, and it's marvelous because goes from the overflow, they pass the bridge, and they are in the. I think it's the only one existing in Venice.
We slip into the Grand Canal so he can show me the palace that would be his if his great-great-great-great-great-great-great-grand aunt hadn't been unlucky in love.
This is yours here. This was the family.
It went out in the 17th century. One of the family, a woman that married 4 times, left everything to another guy.
Oh
With all our money.
Venice is the only city in the world that allows you to step out of your door and sail around the world. But the price is being surrounded by the whims of the sea, being totally cut off.
How do most mainland Italians regard the Venetians?
We are strange people. I think I remember I had some friends that they saw some people like on the window. Oh, that is a Venetian, like an animal in a zoo.
Do you consider yourself a Venetian first and an Italian second? Or?
Sure.
Yeah.
The Venetians at the time in 1600, or they were saying first Venetian, then Christians.
There is another big reason Venetians earn that reputation. And as Buongiorno becomes Buonasera, we're about to see it in real time. And it starts with a very distinctive sound. A sound to let these folks know that their marriage with the sea is about to hit another rough patch.